What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. We got Alan in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Alfredo. Good morning to Amy, Bill, Cheryl, Jeff, Keith, Lauren, Martina. Michael's in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mike, Rick, Rob, Sarah. Good morning. We got Shane, Tim, Tyler, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to you guys. Bijal, good morning. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. They're just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, we're at I think we're at if we could stay above the 20 EMA today for the SPX, that's gonna make the 63rd day in a row we've been above the 20 EMA. So that has not happened since I think it was like 1998. So we've put in quite the bullish morning so far. I mean, for this last couple, I mean, especially if you think about where we were just a few months ago, back in April, to be able to do what we did is quite incredible. So we'll see if this wants to continue. What I have noticed is the last couple days we've had a tight range in the market, so we haven't really been like yesterday was very small. Even on the indicator, where I'm trying to go for 2 hours, we're getting stuff that was like hit the 1.2s, 1.5s, just a very tight range on the overall market. A couple of them kept running. I think AMD was and that's the thing. AMD, NVDA, the chips, SMCI, the ones that have been strong are still remaining strong. They're still putting in good ranges. But then you're seeing other names, whether it's due to earning season or anything else, it's just like if they've lost favor, they have a bad story. That story just the UNHs of the world, even like PFE, those guys are getting absolutely clapped still. There's no love for them. So very mixed markets. Be careful what industry you're trading. But the ones that are hot are still hot and still running and enough to hold. It's really the Bank Seven still kind of holding the markets together. So we'll see how it plays out. We got more earnings coming out next week. We did have Intel last night, a few other companies that came out last night, this morning as well. So we'll go through that. But we got SPY for now. Relentless bulls still remain strong. I'm looking at an inside day. We'll have to see where the stock wants to open or the SPY wants to open. My key spot is right around where we're at, 635.23. Literally 2 seconds ago, we were above it. Now slightly below it. So we'll see where this one wants to open. If we can stay above it, psychological high, I would say probably the 630, 611, but I can't rule out another new all-time high on the SPY. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, if we pull back, if we're opening below it, if we cannot get candles to close above that 635.23-ish, we never really came down to this 633.07 zone. So I think that's still a valid retest if the market wants to sell off a little bit, take some end of the week gains. We'll see. But even this retest, I mean, this clear retest yesterday, we were looking at this high end of the candle, but my real retest we never even got close to. So it looked like it was trying to maybe make it down there first and just kind of hung out. So a little bit of a resting candle, but it's still just following that pretty good momentum that came in on Wednesday. We'll see if we get more continuation today. It's hard to fight the bulls. You got the Qs. Qs gapping down a little bit from the close. This is also a retest gap. You do have two VPOCs. So first one from yesterday, 565.41. You got your next one at 565.57. That's the one I'd be looking for if we can get a close above it this week. That should set next week up in the bullish direction. If we're just going to stay range bound, if we're gonna start tightening up these markets a little bit, look for support around 563.13. As long as we stay above that, I'd still remain in the bullish side of things. This one did come all the way down. We got very close, maybe missed the full-on retest by a few pennies, looks like. But that one pretty much already retested. Bulls showed some strength, opening inside day. I think dips probably get bought, but again, end of the week, let's flip this one to a weekly chart. We've now had one powerful week. I got to go back further. I got to go back further. We haven't had a pullback since April 25th or April 7th. So the week of April 7th, we rallied. We had a small retest, stayed up higher, then ran another one, two, three, nice gap up, four inside candles. So even the red sell-off weeks are inside candles, another two more inside resting candles. Good breakout and just absolutely clobbering higher. Even these weekly candles getting smaller and smaller as we go. So we'll see. No tournament yet. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Said it right. Typed it wrong. There we go. Daily chart for Bitcoin. We saw this one. We tried Hood, and then Bitcoin started breaking down some of the levels. Pulled Hood back a little bit. Right now, this candle's still open. Not looking great in this location. We were talking about this spot for a little bit now for some kind of a pullback. This 113,698 zone. We'll see if we get there today or next couple days, maybe over the weekends at some point. But this candle's still open. If these bulls want to come back, rally this thing up, we get today closing above this 117.34. Now you got a nice looking hammer. They secured it right where it has to go, and I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. But for right now, if this candle was closed like this, it looks like we did double top a little bit, and Bitcoin is looking for some kind of a pullback. Again, this 113,867 zone, that is my first support. Doesn't mean it has to hold. Probably a healthier pullback would be if we get back into this like 109,977 zone. But I have to watch that one pretty closely. We haven't really come close to testing that yet. But crypto looking a little bit to the weaker side for today. AMD looks the opposite of crypto. Looks the opposite of Bitcoin. Still looking good. Nice hammer. Good 2 days follow through. This is going to throw in a little retest. I have Lux Algo line somewhere up at 165.84. So we're getting a little bit closer to that. Let's see if we can close today 166 or higher. Let's go with that for AMD. Otherwise, there is a little bit of longer term resistance that we're kind of pulling into. Probably gets a little choppy here. I don't think I'd be buying AMD here, but on dips, it does look to remain strong. Powerhouse move. For today, if we get a little dip in there, look for like 162.56. Very good close yesterday. VPOC closing outside of all of that last little cluster of VPOC. So even though it's a little double topish, that tells me that momentum probably still in this one. And I think buying the dips on day trade's good. I would hold off on swings until we get a significant pullback on AMD. But yeah, looks good. CELH Celsius. Another one. Big move in Celsius last couple months. Up over 100%. Celsius, I've got a really big resistance on this one at 46.84. It is a retest gap. We've had a couple of, even from the last 3 days, we went from 43.22 to currently sitting 46.51. First resistance on this one, 46.59. I think the pullback has to happen in this one for me to get in, even on a day trade. So I'd be looking to see what happens at like 46.24. Try to avoid maybe that double top. And then if we get anything closing today or next couple days, 46.88 or higher, that would set us up where we're not double topping. We're just going to break out. Lots and lots of room if we could get back up here. Just looking at the volume too. Yeah, anything past from this 47.13, there's nothing really stopping us until probably in the $50 range. 50.63, maybe make a move to like 53.15, and then big volume 57. So it does have some more room. It's not going to be easy, but probably need some of those moving averages to catch up a little bit. The 100 just crossed the 200. That's pretty good. Now we're actually stacked on all those moving averages as well. Schwab, SCHW. They're gapping up. Their earnings were not last night. I think they had a buyback. Yeah, so earnings were on July 18th, where they look strong, 3.65% higher on earnings per share. They came in with 116 million more. On the revenue side of things, looking good. They did a $20 billion buyback where they announced it yesterday. That type of move, the buyback, you don't typically see powerhouse move immediately. So this is a decent gap. I mean, $20 billion buyback is a pretty enormous move on the company's part. So very good news. I think that if you are sitting in Schwab, you're probably going to take this one. I think I would be looking to, unless it's in a long term where I'm just not selling it. I think I would be most likely looking for just take some profits, see if we could try it again at 96.69. In a longer term picture, that buyback is very good. It's essentially the Apple move right now. So Apple not really coming out with new iPads or iPhones or technology besides just repainting the case of the one it was already in. But they are still staying strong based on the constant buybacks that Apple's doing. They have a ton of cash on the side. So it could definitely hold the stock up there, will increase the valuation. Typically, you'll see it play out over the next couple of quarters where it starts to remain strong. For today, if you're trying to day trade this one, I don't think I'd be a buyer here. I think I would let this thing pull back, let some profit takers come in, and then look for another opportunity to buy if you get it. First spot I would look is like 96.69. Otherwise, I don't think is this all-time highs on Schwab? Yeah, it's all-time highs. I don't have any other. Here's your monthly chart. That's a heck of a lot of buying over the last couple of months. So every single person right now is profitable. I would, even if this thing wants to just rip higher, I'd probably just, for me, stay away from this one unless we got to pull back. You got NVIDIA. NVIDIA is hanging out for today. Still inside day candle. AMD looks like it has a little more momentum on it than NVIDIA today. Doesn't mean NVIDIA just can't break out and run. Really good location for the close yesterday. We closed above prior VPOCs. Also, yesterday's VPOC is a little higher. You do have a little bit of a gap and go to the bear side today. Does that mean anything for NVIDIA? Maybe. Maybe it just means the future buy the dip is on its way, I guess. But still looks really strong, still inside day. Your next support on this one, if you get a pullback, 172.59-ish, somewhere around there. Maybe we look for like a 172.32, but somewhere around that range if you get a good pullback. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't touch this one at open until we get candles that start closing maybe above this 173.47 zone. We get some candles there, then we can see more momentum kind of pull in. So a little too close for that resistance for me at open to worry about NVIDIA. If we get the momentum, the bulls show me that we could get still remain strong, which yesterday's candle was that. It's just a matter of where do we buy the dip? What is this? I don't even know what a dip looks like on NVIDIA anymore. I'm not sure. Hood. So again, we did try this one yesterday. Did not hold. We had two solid VPOC levels on the daily. Our stop was below it. I think he gave us good risk to reward. It just could not find any solid ground. And then even later in the day, it started to try to rally. Couldn't even get it that high up. So again, monster run on Hood. I think one day this thing probably starts bouncing back. For now, you're a little bit in no man's land. I don't like where we're opening on this one. I think I'd rather be short rather than long on Hood for today, especially if Bitcoin, and watch Bitcoin too as you're trading it. Bitcoin just does a crazy, remarkable run. It's going to take coin with it. It's going to take Hood with it, Mara, Riot, all those guys. But if it doesn't, if nothing really crazy happens to Bitcoin, then still not a great location for now. You'd have to climb above 101.75. You really have to get back above 102.29 today as well if you're going to go long on it. To the short side, you have some room on it, down to like $100.27. Maybe you run into like this 99, 93 zone. Bijal's asking if Tesla is a buy. Um, I don't think I could. I don't. We only have 14 minutes before the bell rings, Bijal. I don't know if I can answer that question in a 14-minute time frame. It depends. What is your outlook on Tessie? Do you? The question is not even the cars. It's really not the cars. The question right now is number one, how long are you okay holding Tesla? And do you actually believe in the robo-taxi story, the cyborg story? Do you think we're going to be landing on Mars anytime soon? If the answer to those are yes, yeah, hey, you gotta pull back. We talked about this yesterday when we were kind of in this 304 range. I was like, it's probably not bad to sell some puts on Tessie today. You can sell them in like the 250 range. Worst case, you get filled lower. You get some decent premium on it. That's probably how I would go with it, but you're still holding above that 200 EMA. You got obviously a lot of volume coming in from this, but there's a lot of trap bulls in this one. Tesla's such a bizarre stock where you know the valuation is not really there. You don't like to see cash flow declining on a company, especially when it's overpriced. But they do have some good stories, and it all depends. So, if you want to buy some shares just to avoid some FOMO, and then if you do like Tesla longer term, if you're catching those pullback spots, doing some dollar cost averaging over time, I think that's a good way to do it. Otherwise, I don't know if it's a buy for today, for a day trade even. We got a buy signal came in yesterday. Even that one, yeah. So 2R target on that one would have been 311, never really made it back. This 310 zone is still a resistance. The fact that we were above this 304 is good. So it looks like we did a full-on retrace. If you want to take a swing at it, I would have my stops. You're probably gonna have to go with stops like 290, 291. Give yourself some room on the stops, and it definitely if this is the low, if this is a good retest spot, and we want to bounce from here, you do still have really good risk reward to the higher side, but have some stops, control the risk. Probably my guess would be we chop around here for a little bit, and then it makes us move either higher or lower. And I don't know what the next narrative for Tesla is, but Elon did try to pump it on the call, and didn't really work this time. We got Intel. Intel actually had, I mean, they came in with a miss on the earnings, but I didn't think their report was as bad. I think the market actually even, or Intel rallied first on the report, and then they kind of came in and didn't really talk as crazy positive as maybe they should have. But they did beat by, they came in with a surprise of 874 million higher. So I think I don't think it was as bad of a report as the market's kind of telling me now. But this is a pretty drastic gap down into a big support. You also have a much bigger spot, somewhere around $20.28 from the Lux Algo volume. You want to stay above that. You're only about 60 cents away from it now. Um, that is a pretty major retest gap. I don't know that this is a spot that I'd be buying. I'd be I'd be watching it. If you get a good setup down here, I'd rather go long than short on Intel for today. It's probably oversold, but I think the first 3 to 5, maybe 10 minutes of Intel is a little bit choppy. Maybe you get some just people just tired of Intel. They look to sell their shares, didn't work. And then maybe at that rally, or if nothing happens today, we stay quiet on Intel. I would look for like Monday, Tuesday. Let some of the uh, let some of the panic sellers cool down a little bit, and then I think maybe an opportunity. But this is another one where you see AMD just ripping, NVIDIA ripping. This stock has been hated for quite some time. The earnings I don't think were really that bad for Intel. It was could have been much worse. And it's just one of those stocks where it doesn't really matter. There's so much pressure on it, and it's so hard for these things to rally. So for today, I don't really want to short at these levels. It's not at crucial levels, but the closer I could get to like $20.30 or $20.34, the better. Otherwise, this is an interesting spot to try to play maybe a fade on Intel for today with that big retest gap. And probably my guess is a lot of shorts kind of built up into that one too. MDB. Tom sending greetings from Europe. Welcome, Tom. Mongo Database. That one looks pretty interesting. You do have some resistance all the way up before that gap fill. I think a lot of people probably eyeing that gap fill to 254. You nice candle above that 200 EMA, so that's good. Inside day today, I think the closer you can get it to, let's go a tad higher. I think the closer you can get your entry to like 233.49, the better risk reward you have. I probably think we end up fading to that level, but good. The fact that we're above this VPOC from this high volume day, which is June 5th, that's strong. So this is where it kind of started, kind of building some steam. Probably some bulls getting in. We are opening above at least the opening price. We have not had a close above it yet. If this one pulls back, this one might start to look good. Again, lots of resistance up in here. I'd probably go for my 2Rs wherever I could however I could establish it. Again, the lower you buy it, just the easier it is to hit the two R's. Otherwise, I think a lot of people probably targeting 253.64, but looks pretty good for today. Let's get that one higher. Put that one up a little bit more on the list. Mongo Database. And for day trade wise, just watch the spread. I think oftentimes it is a little bit spready on that one. CNC. Yeah, they had earnings. They're getting clobbered. They missed earnings per share by 243%. Um, then they did come in with they beat revenue by 10%, so 4.6 billion. Again, another stock has been out of favor for quite some time. So since we hit the peak August of 2022, we have not really seen bulls. We've seen some attempted bulls, but none of it really held and getting beat up. I think I don't know if they're still on their conference call, but they were doing a conference call this morning somewhere around 8:45, 8:30. I believe they were down a lot more. I don't have the extended hours on, but I believe they were down a lot more. Whatever they said on the conference call, which I don't know, but the market seemed to at least like that. So they're trying to come back. Look for capitulation on one of these days. That might give you a good opportunity for some kind of a setup. Other than that, you got your next highest, bigger volume candle. So even if we break through today, and I would need to see a close somewhere above 29.33, I think your higher end target on this one probably takes you to about 34.12. If you can break through that, then maybe a bigger correction is on the way. But um, just another company completely out of favor. It's very, very hard unless you have the right time frame. If you want to look into the company, see what they're actually doing, see what the revenue, do your research. If you like it and you're like, hey, I think they're gonna be around in 10 years, I've got time to wait. It's down a lot. It might be a turnaround story. I just don't see it on the charts quite yet. Not yet. All right, let's see what else we got. MU. Crazy MU. Let me draw a quick little fib on this one. I don't know where we want to start this one. Let's go from here to about here. So we're still hovering right around that 50% retracement. I'm looking at the 618 somewhere around 106.76. Somebody remind me where Yates's buy zone was. I think we're kind of in it. I think he was looking for this 110, 113, somewhere in that range. But last 2 days, green days, we just essentially closed higher than we opened, so fine. But all that's still inside of this sell-off day, which kind of broke through that 50. Um, I'd almost want to see a little bit more chop or at least hit that 618 before we kind of go long on it. Other than that, for day trade purpose, gap didn't go to the downside, still inside that candle. Look for resistance somewhere around 111.85. If you could get above that, you probably have some decent room up to like 112.98, so that'll give you a little bit. Otherwise, support on this one for now. Look for somewhere around this 109.66 zone if we want to pull back, but we are above the 50 as well. So I think a little bit of chop. I'm not that excited to go quite crazy bullish on it yet, but if we get a setup, it does have good ranges throughout the day. We'll see if there's something that we could get 2 hours prior to maybe this, we'll call it 113 zone. All right, let's see. NVTS. Oh, I think goes higher from here. I think this one breaks a little far extended from some of those moving averages, but we're above the $6.62 mark, so that's good. We nice little break of that, retest of that as well. We do have some resistance up to $10.69. Earnings are also coming out, so I don't know enough about the company specifically to even throw my hat into the ring and throwing a guess out there. But on Monday, after well, 2 weeks from now, so August 4th, you're gonna have some earnings coming out for that. Um, if besides the earnings, if we're just going off the charts, I think this one probably breaks, goes higher. I think you have probably from the warrants that were being sold over here, $10. If you get above $10, that would give you your next shot. But Yeah, I don't know enough about the company to kind of predict what the earnings are going to be, but watch that chart, singling out just the chart. I think we do go higher. We've been consolidating above a good pivot for quite some time. Yep, Schwab, we looked at all-time highs. That was on the $20 billion buyback though, so I think the move fades, and if it does, then I think I have an opportunity to go long. I like it long, but I'm going to need a better price on it. You got Uber, the Ubs. For today, not really any kind of crazy gap. We're down. We're actually up 3 pennies. It's definitely lots of consolidation last couple days, and I think that consolidation continues. You had a attempt from the bulls to break out of this bearish engulfing candle. So we got above it. We just sold all of it. So that was an opportunity for bulls to take money off the table. You didn't find new excited bulls to try to get back into that thing. That hammer would tell me there's probably a little bit more pressure to the downside, but you're still chopping. Anything below or anything above $90.46, I think is chop. If we get candles to break it or close below it, then I think you have a lot of room to the downside, which would be about 87.52. If we want to hang out here and then we get candles finally closing above 91.44, that would give me a little edge that maybe the bulls are starting to wake up in it, starting to buy the dips, and then I think you could rally it. Right now, Uber I think is a little in the chop fest. So buy as if you want to try it, buy it as low as possible to that support, or go short as high as possible to that resistance. AAPL, they're annoying. I don't like AAPL. I'm in there. I'm in it. We needed 214.60 55, I think was the off the indicator yesterday. I'm still in it for the swing. Uh, Out of the gate yesterday, it was a phenomenal push. Yeah, even back and forth on this one. So phenomenal candle right out of the gate. We got up to 215.70. Since then, we've been putting in these lower highs. We have been putting in the higher highs as well, and it looks like we kind of broke. So is today an interesting day on Apple? Maybe. Again, I'm speaking from my book because I have it as a swing trade. But I'm also looking at this little bit of consolidation, pennant pattern all day yesterday. Toward the end of the day, we broke southbound, which again, this is telling us that we should probably be bearish. However, gapping above all that, now at the end of the day, we squeeze some people. We'll see. Give this a minute or two, and we'll see if this one wants to kind of rally. But we do have some trapped bears in this one, and we consolidated all day. I still have it for the slightly longer move on this one. That'll be my stop. Other than that, I don't know how it happened, but we do have the bell that just rang. So everybody in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys all on